Hello, I'm Alex Gill with On Demand Location, and we are here at Matsuricon 2015 with Cherami Leigh.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm happy to be here.
How have you been enjoying Matsuricon? It's been a while since we've talked to you.
It has been a while. I think the last Matsuricon I was at was 4 years ago, but I was at ColossalCon with you guys last year? 2 years ago? Something crazy like that?
Is it 2?
I think it might have been 2 years ago. Well, I'm excited to be back at Matsuricon. It's one of my favorite conventions to go to. It's like such a big family here, so it's wonderful to be back. And I brought my husband this time so he can see what a great environment it is, what a great place. So
Awesome. Now, a big show that's been going on has been Sword Art Online. Season 2 has been happening. What's been the reaction with that project, and what experience was it like working on that second season?
It's been insane, the response on the show, and I'm super grateful to the fans for continuing to support it. I'm very fortunate that I've been able to work on a lot of great shows that have a lot of fan support, but this show in particular blew up. I did not know that it was going to be this big of a hit. Then when we got to go back to season 2, obviously it was great to revisit the characters. But Asuna has a lot more things going on. The second half of the show, I guess, or maybe not even the second half, the last third of the show of season 2 was really, really great to get to work on and see a different side of Asuna and a little more backstory. So I'm very excited. It's actually that episode, the Zekken episode, which is kind of the beginning of that arc for her, is premiering tonight on Toonami. So I'm excited to hopefully get to watch it with the fans and talk to them and all of that fun stuff. So
Wonderful. What was it like working on the show Chair, based on your film with Sean Dawson?
that was awesome. Shane's a really funny guy, and I was auditioning for the show. I didn't know that it was going to be a reality show attached to it. I'd gone through the regular audition process, really liked him a lot. I knew a little bit of his YouTube presence. And then when I started talking with him, I'm realizing, like, the Shane on YouTube is a character. Like, he's a completely different person, very chill. We have the same birthday, the same middle name, a lot of other childhood similarities. So it was amazing getting to do the Chair. And then getting to watch it again was like revisiting camp and like looking through a yearbook of months later. We get to experience it all over again. But it was a tremendous experience. All the producers were fantastic. And Not Cool itself did really well as far as the response that the fans gave it. I know some people it's not their cup of tea, which I totally get. I was excited to work on it because I had never been the lead in a comedy before, and I was excited to do some more, stretch my comedic muscles. And I was also, there were a lot of scenes in the film that were things I would never do or things I would never say, jokes I didn't feel comfortable doing, and I never thought I could do them. And so after I kept getting all these things come up, I'm like, I think I'm meant to do this movie, and I think these things I'm scared of, I just have to get over. The only thing that I told them, I was like, we're not doing any nudity. And they were like, that's fine, Shane's not doing it either. So there is like a mooning scene, and that is not us. We had doubles for that. But like everything else, I was like, let's do it. I feel like I've waited in line for the roller coaster, and I need to jump over the edge, and Tori will be my bravery. So it was really fun to get to work on that.
Wonderful. Now, you've also contributed to Doc McStuffins. Yeah. How have you adjusted your acting when you know a role is going to be communicating to toddlers, early children? Like, how do you adjust your acting?
Well, my mom has been a dance teacher for kids under 5 for at least 20, 30 years. And I started teaching dance with her a little while, so I love doing that. I was a preschool teacher for a part-time job. So that's, I think, more along the lines of my personality than some of the work that I've actually done. I love being a little kid, and I loved getting to work for Disney. I've worked for Radio Disney forever, but now I'm getting to do Disney Junior. And it's my character was really insecure about her hair, so it was really great to get to convey that and find her strength and find what she was comfortable with. And it's just such a fun show, and it was such an honor to get to work on a Western animation that young kids love, and to get to walk through Disneyland and be like, that's my show, I worked on that, this is so cool. But yeah, I guess as far as adjusting, you just know in whatever show you're working on, you think about the audience, who's going to be watching it, who are you talking to, and then you imagine when you're walking in, this is my younger cousin who's 4, and what kind of issues would she be struggling with, and how would I want to talk to her? And I work on another show that's also for a younger audience called Zoo that's on Sprout. And so for me, it's just such a joy to get to go in there. And I'm like, this is me with the kids that I taught in preschool, and I get to hang out with them again. And this time they want to watch the show rather than like they don't necessarily want to make me teach them things in preschool. So it's really, really fun. I feel very lucky to get to do that.
Wonderful. Now, last time we got to talk, you'd worked on the film Ribbit.
Yes.
What was your experience like coming out of it and seeing the product?
It was insane because for a while I thought, like, I don't know if this film's going to come out. Sometimes independent films don't. But when it came out and people were saying, it's in Target, it's in Walmart, I'm buying it for Christmas, and kids were liking it, and it did really well overseas, had a very big run, and then it did pretty well in the States as far as animation goes. It was competing against all of the big Disney, Pixar, DreamWorks movies, but it did really well, and people said they were really enjoying it. It was odd to watch it and say, like, that's me with Sean Astin and Tim Curry, and it was weird when I saw my names next to theirs, but now when I'm hearing my voice with theirs, this is really cool. So it was a really, really, really cool experience. I never thought that was going to happen. When I got cast, I was like, I'm doing a movie with Sean Astin and Tim Curry. When I was working on it, it was the same thing. When it came out, it was, I really did this. This was not a joke. How cool is this? I am so thankful. I don't know how I got lucky enough to do that, but I'll take it. That was awesome.
All right. Now, the Sailor Moon franchise has come back after such a long time, and you're with Erica Mendez. You play a role that feeds off each other in the show. Does hanging out with people you've acted with on the show, at conventions and outside of work, has that those road appearances, have they affected your acting in any way?
100%. I mean, I feel like with Sailor Moon, because we're so fortunate that the franchise was such a big deal. Obviously, that's why we get to do it again and get to do Crystal. That the fan support has continued, and the fans have embraced us as these characters. I was a fan of the show when I was younger, and so now getting to work on it is so many levels of surreal. We were all talking, saying it took us about a year for us to realize that they weren't going to take these away from us, that this was actually happening, that this was like, we were going to get to play these characters and it wasn't a joke. But because everybody's been so fascinated with, we want to meet the new Sailor Moon characters, we want to see all the voices together, I've gotten to get closer with the Canadian dub, Linda and everybody, and they've been very supportive, and that's crazy because I grew up listening to them, so I've gotten to meet them. And then with all of the current group, I guess, my Sailor sisters, we all watch the moonlight parties together at each other's apartments and hang out together. Christina and Amanda and I have gone to work out together, and we all have our Sailor Moon workout shirts. So yeah, it really is like a sisterhood, and now that we've known each other, we're excited to hear each other's voice play off of each other and bond when we're at conventions. It's just like it's a great big family, and we're excited about each other. When we'll see, I went crazy trying to get a Sailor Venus blind box and got like 40, and I was like, I got everybody's. So I was like handing them out to everybody, all their different figures, and Stephanie does the same for me. If we see those fun t-shirts online, we'll buy them, and then we all wear them together, and we're twins. I mean, it's like a bunch of sisters that just want to hang out and match each other all the time.
There's one piece of merchandise that you had to pick above all others. You like on a desert island, you had to sacrifice everything. What would that one thing be that you'd take with you?
Okay, there's one thing that I've been looking for. There's two things that I've been looking for forever at conventions, and I cannot find them. I want a Sailor Venus backpack that just has Sailor Venus on it with her bow. It's all I want. I have the messenger bag, but I want the backpack. And I want a jacket that has the Sailor Venus symbol on the back so that I can put Sailor Venus on the front. So it's like my Letterman jacket for Sailor Moon. So those are probably the two things that I would be like, I have to have this.
So I got to find an Etsy seller.
Yeah, I mean, it honestly sounds like I'm just going back to school. I need a backpack and I need a Letterman jacket, but I want to go back to school with Sailor Moon. Like that's all I want.
All right. Are you going to be doing any charity events this year at Matsuricon? I know they always have a charity.
Yes, it's one of my favorite things about this convention. A lot of conventions do great charity work, and I love that. But I feel like with this convention, it's always that is of utmost importance. And so when they had said, we're doing this whole battle of the characters, because I know last time we had battle of the shows and the infamous Black Butler panel, which raised like over $3,000, which was mind-blowing. I think earlier today, I don't know if I was supposed to, but somebody said, yeah, they're doing a girls versus boys panel. Whoever can raise the most, the girls or the boys. I was like, the girls, let's do it. And so that kind of started at the girl panel. So I'm hoping that we win. Anything that I can do to be a part of to help with charity in any way, it's always I feel those of us that are very fortunate and very blessed financially with whatever we're gifted with, if we can give a little bit, it helps so much. And I'm very honored to get to do that and be a part of it. So whatever charity events are like, hey, can we throw you into this? I'll be like, I'm there. Let's do it. So
awesome. Well, I hope a lot's made and a lot of good's done.
Yes.
All right. Is there any final words you'd like to get out to the audience?
Just that I love every single one of you, and I'm so excited to see you at conventions. And my film Beyond the Farthest Star, which has been 6 years in the making, just released on Thursday. It had its film premiere and its screening all this weekend. And if you would like to see it, it's a grassroots effort with Gather Films. You can be a captain, and you can say, I want it in my city, I want it on this date. And all you have to do is get 40 friends to agree that they want to see it. You buy the tickets. If the theater is not made, nobody's credit cards are charged. If the theater is made, you get the movie where you want it. And if I can make it to the screening, let me know, and I will do my best to be there and thank you in person. So I would love to do that. That's a film that's very important to me as well. And I have a couple of other projects going on, more fairy tale always. Sword Art Online, watch it on Toonami, and I want you to cry with me because I cried a lot, and I don't want to cry alone. Then there's a couple video games that I don't think I'm allowed to talk about yet, but I can talk about Danganronpa, another episode, and I play Komaru Naegi. That's the ship name of my first and my last name is Komari, I guess. But I'm Bryce Pappenbrook's baby sister. So now I've been Bryce's mom, Bryce's girlfriend/wife in Sword Art Online, and Bryce's baby sister. So I need him to play my dad really soon. If there's a producer that can make that happen, get on it.
Cherami, thank you so much for your time. It's been wonderful.
Yes, it's wonderful to see you all again. Always a pleasure.